U.S. has opened an investigation into 2.6 million Tesla vehicles over reports of crashes involving a remote driving feature called Actually Smart Summon. The feature, which was launched in September, allows users to remotely summon their vehicle towards them or another location using a smartphone application. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which opened the probe, said it had reports of Tesla vehicles failing to detect posts or other parked vehicles when operating under the feature. The agency added that users had, quote, too little reaction time to avoid a crash by releasing the app button, which stops the vehicle's movement. At least 4 crashes were reported. The new probe comes after a separate investigation by the same agency into 2.4 million Tesla vehicles equipped with full self-driving software after 4 reported collisions, including a fatal 2023 crash. Tesla CEO Elon Musk, a close advisor to President-elect Donald Trump, has previously criticized actions taken by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Shares of Tesla were down 3% in Tuesday morning trading.
A wildfire tore through an upscale suburb north of Los Angeles on Tuesday. Officials said nearly 3,000 acres of the Pacific Palisades area between Santa Monica and Malibu had burned. One man who lives there named Peter said he was trying to retrieve things from his home when he decided it was too dangerous.
I got within 300 yards of my house, and some gentleman picked me up and took me the rest of the way. The fire department stopped, and as it stopped, we saw some literally flaming debris landed in the road near where we were standing. So it seemed to me, let's get out of here. But whatever I lose, and there's nothing I can do about it.
The blaze destroyed houses and led to the evacuation of some 30,000 people, while firefighters raced to stamp out the blaze. These aircraft scooped water from the nearby Pacific Ocean to drop on the flames. Reuters spoke to this woman stuck in traffic as residents fled the area beneath huge plumes of smoke.
I mean, I've never seen anything. Fires were this close to the cars. People left their cars on Palisades Drive, burning up the hillside, the palm trees, everything's going. And the wind and the firemen are great, but you can only do so much.
Time-lapse videos captured the rapid advance of the fire, which grew 6-fold in a matter of hours. Officials warned the worst wind conditions were expected to come overnight. That has fueled concerns that more neighborhoods could be forced to flee. California Governor Gavin Newsom urged residents to heed evacuation orders and warned that the winds could produce more fires elsewhere.
We are anticipating, hopefully we're wrong, but we're anticipating other fires happening concurrently. And that's exactly the previous experience we've had with these kinds of wind events.
The fire chief of Los Angeles said no injuries had been reported so far. Before the fire started, officials had already warned of extreme fire danger through Thursday from powerful winds that arrived following an extended dry spell. Known as Santa Ana winds, the strong, dry westerly winds originating in inland deserts are more common in the fall, but can affect Southern California any time of year.
Canada's Justin Trudeau says he will resign as Prime Minister once his ruling Liberal Party picks its next leader. One of the few Canadian leaders to win 3 consecutive terms in office, Trudeau's popularity started dipping 2 years ago over high prices and a housing shortage, and has never recovered. Trudeau took over as Liberal leader in 2013, when his party was in deep trouble and in 3rd place in the legislature for the first time. In the 2015 election, he pushed an upbeat message and took advantage of voter fatigue with the Conservative government to propel his party into power.
Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways. This is what positive politics can do. This is what a positive, hopeful vision and platform and team can make happen.
Trudeau's early impact on the media was referred to as Trudeau-mania, a term coined to describe the phenomenon surrounding his father, longtime Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, in the late 1960s. That initial popularity helped him survive scandals that could have sunk other Canadian politicians. In December 2017, Trudeau was found to have broken conflict of interest rules when he accepted a vacation and gifts from the Aga Khan. It was the first time a prime minister had been found to have committed such a transgression. In 2019, then Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould accused Trudeau and other officials of pressuring her to help construction company SNC-Lavalin avoid a corruption trial. Wilson-Raybould resigned, and so did Treasury Board President Jane Philpott. The loss of 2 women from cabinet was politically damaging for a prime minister who had described himself as a feminist.
The prime minister has been avoiding accountability. And
Trudeau was again found to have breached ethics rules. He took responsibility but refused to apologize.
I truly feel that what happened over the past year shouldn't have happened.
Shortly into the 2019 election campaign, photos emerged of Trudeau wearing blackface when he was younger.
Darkening your face, regardless of the context or the circumstances, is always unacceptable because of the racist history of blackface. I should have understood that then, and I never should have done it.
He apologized repeatedly, and the Liberals retained power with a minority government. During the pandemic, Trudeau appeared every day on television for months. Yet legislators knocking on doors reported he was starting to put voters off. A gambit on a snap election in 2021 backfired and resulted in another minority government. The fateful moment in Trudeau's downfall turned out to be his clash over spending with staunch cabinet ally Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. She penned a letter accusing Trudeau of political gimmicks. Freeland's resignation set off new calls for Trudeau to step aside.
People are right to be angry.
As opposition parties called for a no-confidence vote in Parliament that Trudeau would not have survived.
Joseph Binder may get a second chance at seeing his dream Austrian government. He voted for Herbert Kiekel's far-right Freedom Party of Austria, or FPO, in the September polls. And the collapse of the country's centrist coalition talks on Sunday has put Kiekel in the driving seat. While some have voiced fears Kiekel could be too extreme, Binder rejects this.
I think he is a very reliable man. And what I appreciate about him is that he's someone who doesn't bend. I think he is a person who does not allow himself to be corrupted or bribed. Maybe then he's dangerous from the point of view of others. But in reality, he's not dangerous at all.
Kiekel has been tasked with forming a government and has called on the Conservative People's Party, or OVP, for imminent coalition talks. He threatened the prospect of a snap election if the party isn't, quote, honest when meeting. That's while his support is still rising and the OVP's falling. Kiekel is Austria's first FPO chancellor since the party was founded in the 1950s, under a leader who had been a senior SS officer and Nazi lawmaker. One political analyst branded this a crucial moment in Austria's history. Both FPO and OVP overlap on issues including immigration policy and cutting taxes, and Binder approved of the potential partnership.
I was very surprised myself. I assumed that there would be this 3-party coalition, and that these last few days have seen such dynamic events. I was really, really surprised, but also delighted. Because I think from my point of view, that an FPO and OVP government is the best solution for Austria in this phase. Where we are now, facing these major economic problems, perhaps also in Europe as a whole.